Welcome to Actuate Biomedicine's Biomedical Knowledge Translation Faucet. Our mission is to bridge the gap between scientific research and practical healthcare applications, ensuring that the latest advancements improve patient care, health outcomes, and public health. Biomedical knowledge translation involves turning cutting-edge biomedical research into tangible solutions for healthcare systems. At Actuate Biomedicine, we specialize in this process, ensuring that scientific breakthroughs reach those who need them most. We host our Learn to Earn sessions every Tuesday from 7 p.m. to 8 p.m. East African Time. Each cohort participates in an 8-week program designed to guide learners through the 7 stages of biomedical knowledge translation. The 7 stages include exploration, where we identify new research and innovations; evaluation, assessing the potential impact and feasibility; planning, developing strategies for implementation; development, creating practical applications and solutions; implementation, integrating these solutions into healthcare settings; another round of evaluation, monitoring and assessing effectiveness; and finally, distribution, ensuring wide access to the final products. Our learners gain in-depth knowledge and practical skills, empowering them to translate biomedical research into real-world applications. Through our program, we aim to foster a new generation of experts who will drive advancements in healthcare. Join us at Actuate Biomedicine's Biomedical Knowledge Translation Faucet. Together, we can make a significant impact on healthcare and public health. Learn, earn, and contribute to a healthier future. Be a part of the change. Transform knowledge into action with Actuate Biomedicine. Welcome to Actuate Biomedicine's Biomedical Knowledge Translation Faucet. Our mission is to bridge the gap between scientific research and practical healthcare applications, ensuring that the latest advancements improve patient care, health outcomes, and public health. Biomedical knowledge translation involves turning cutting-edge biomedical research into tangible solutions for healthcare systems. At Actuate Biomedicine, we specialize in this process, ensuring that scientific breakthroughs reach those who need them most. We host our Learn to Earn sessions every Tuesday from 7 p.m. to 8 p.m. East African Time. Each cohort participates in an 8-week program designed to guide learners through the 7 stages of biomedical knowledge translation. The 7 stages include exploration, where we identify new research and innovations; evaluation, assessing the potential impact and feasibility; planning, developing strategies for implementation; development, creating practical applications and solutions; implementation, integrating these solutions into healthcare settings; another round of evaluation, monitoring and assessing effectiveness; and finally, distribution, ensuring wide access to the final products. Our learners gain in-depth knowledge and practical skills, empowering them to translate biomedical research into real-world applications. Through our program, we aim to foster a new generation of experts who will drive advancements in healthcare. Join us at Actuate Biomedicine's Biomedical Knowledge Translation Faucet. Together, we can make a significant impact on healthcare and public health. Learn, earn, and contribute to a healthier future. Be a part of the change. Transform knowledge into action with Actuate Biomedicine. Welcome to Actuate Biomedicine's Biomedical Knowledge Translation Faucet. Our mission is to bridge the gap between scientific research and practical healthcare applications, ensuring that the latest advancements improve patient care, health outcomes, and public health. Biomedical knowledge translation involves turning cutting-edge biomedical research into tangible solutions for healthcare systems. At Actuate Biomedicine, we specialize in this process, ensuring that scientific breakthroughs reach those who need them most. We host our Learn to Earn sessions every Tuesday from 7 p.m. to 8 p.m. East African Time. Each cohort participates in an 8-week program designed to guide learners through the 7 stages of biomedical knowledge translation. The 7 stages include exploration, where we identify new research and innovations; evaluation, assessing the potential impact and feasibility; planning, developing strategies for implementation; development, creating practical applications and solutions; implementation, integrating these solutions into healthcare settings; another round of evaluation, monitoring and assessing effectiveness; and finally, distribution, ensuring wide access to the final products. Our learners gain in-depth knowledge and practical skills, empowering them to translate biomedical research into real-world applications. Through our program, we aim to foster a new generation of experts who will drive advancements in healthcare. Join us at Actuate Biomedicine's Biomedical Knowledge Translation Faucet. Together, we can make a significant impact on healthcare and public health. Learn, earn, and contribute to a healthier future. Be a part of the change. Transform knowledge into action with Actuate Biomedicine. Welcome to Actuate Biomedicine's Biomedical Knowledge Translation Faucet. Our mission is to bridge the gap between scientific research and practical healthcare applications, ensuring that the latest advancements improve patient care, health outcomes, and public health. Biomedical knowledge translation involves turning cutting-edge biomedical research into tangible solutions for healthcare systems. At Actuate Biomedicine, we specialize in this process, ensuring that scientific breakthroughs reach those who need them most. We host our Learn to Earn sessions every Tuesday from 7 p.m. to 8 p.m. East African Time. Each cohort participates in an 8-week program designed to guide learners through the 7 stages of biomedical knowledge translation. The 7 stages
Good evening, everyone. Hello, can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you.
Okay, sorry, I was going to unmute, then I left the meeting instead of unmuting. So, welcome to our 5th session of the Biomedical Knowledge Translation. So today we are going to be exploring how to fund the second stage of biomedical knowledge translation, that is externalization method. That is the second stage of biomedical knowledge translation. Last week we were focusing on how to fund the exploration stage. Without further ado, let me introduce the meeting agenda for today. You're going to have our topic master, David Mainge. Then you're going to have Dr. Masharia giving us additional insights. From there, we're going to have anyone with a comment or also question. Then we're going to conclude our meeting for today. So welcome so much, David. You can proceed.
Thank you so much. Good evening, everyone. Today I'm going to be a speaker, and we are going to be talking about forming capital for the externalization stage. of biomedical knowledge translation using Actuate tokens. Biomedical knowledge translation involves transforming research insights into practical applications that improve health outcomes. A critical phase in this process is the externalization stage, where innovations are scaled and disseminated for broader use. Funding this stage often requires significant capital, which can be a barrier in traditional financing models. Enter Actuate tokens, a decentralized solution designed to revolutionize capital formation in biomedical research and development. Let's look at the role of Actuate tokens in capital formation. Actuate tokens are the cornerstone of a blockchain-powered financial ecosystem created by Actuate Biomedicine. These tokens enable seamless access to decentralized finance tools such as liquidity pools that provide a flexible and scalable way to raise capital for biomedical projects. Liquidity pools. What are they? These are smart contract-based reserves where participants contribute tokens to create a shared fund. These pools facilitate continuous token transactions while providing liquidity to the market. By forming liquidity pools with Actuate tokens, biomedical innovators can access immediate funding to support their externalization stage. How do we come about to form capital with liquidity pools? Step 1. You are going to have to acquire Actuate tokens so as to participate in the ecosystem. You first need Actuate tokens, which can be purchased through decentralized exchanges or directly via platforms supported by Actuate Biomedicine. Secondly, set up a wallet. A trust wallet or similar decentralized wallet is essential for storing and managing your tokens securely. Thirdly, contribute to liquidity pools. Contributing Actuate tokens to a liquidity pool allows you to earn rewards through transaction fees while providing the financial backing for biomedical knowledge translation initiatives. Fourthly, attract collaborative funding. How are you going to do this? Liquidity pools encourage collaboration, allowing multiple stakeholders to pool resources, reducing risks and amplifying funding for large-scale biomedical projects. Why should anyone use these liquidity pools for biomedical translation? Here is one. Decentralized access to capital. Liquidity pools eliminate the need for traditional intermediaries, enabling global participation and quicker access to funds. Sustainability is another. Participants earn returns on their contributions, incentivizing continued investments in biomedical innovations. Thirdly, scalability. Liquidity pools grow as more participants join, making them ideal for funding the externalization stage, where significant resources are needed. The future of biomedical knowledge translation. The integration blockchain and DeFi principles, Actuate tokens provide a revolutionary approach to funding biomedical research. Liquidity pools create a decentralized, transparent, and efficient system for forming capital and ensuring that promising innovations reach the market faster and with fewer barriers. As I conclude, join us in shaping the future of healthcare and human development. Learn more on our website and start creating liquidity pools with Actuate tokens today. Thank you. And that's the end of my
Thank you so much.
presentation. Thank you.
Okay, sorry. Thank you so much for that wonderful presentation. We've seen how the importance of creating liquidity pools and how they can help fund the externalization stage of the biomedical knowledge translation, or rather the whole biomedical knowledge translation operations. So at this time, I want to come to continue with the additional insights. Welcome, Doc.
Okay, thank you so much, Grace. And thank you, David. Now, Daudi Maingi. Grace, please confirm you can hear me. Hello, Grace, am I audible? No?
Hello, Doc, we can hear you.
Okay. Oh, thank you, Barbara. And thank you, Daudi, David Maingi. Well, always King David. Remember that. Never forget you're the king. So, and it's a pleasure again to be here and talk about liquidity pools. Liquidity pool is a solution to the mystery of capital. We have to keep saying that until people get it. Mystery of capital. Because we, say in Africa, have not understood what capital is. And that when you don't understand capital, then capital cannot work for us. Capital is not having what's called assets. That's what people say, having big tracts of land or having a lot of trees, or let's say material things. That's not capital. Capital is a form of representation of those material things, a representation of those material things. And I want to give you an example, which you already know, that you do not exist except with your identity card. You see, your ID is you. Without your ID, you become a known person. Can you believe that? That your identity does not exist within your body. Your identity exists outside yourself. It's your ID card is what helps to identify you to other people. Except maybe close relatives, members of your family or people in your village can be saying, so this is Daudi. We know Daudi because we have seen him. But then if you go to a different place, you need to show your ID for people to know you. Now, within the same country, you show the national ID. If you go to a different country, you show a passport. Passport is what says that you are the one who you are saying you are. It is not you saying that, okay, I'm David Maingi, so you believe it. You have to say, show us that you're David Maingi. By saying showing us, you're not going to point a finger at yourself. Say, show us. So there's something outside you that says you are David Maingi, and that thing is called an ID. And the capital is the same thing. Capital is the same way. There is no capital on the material things, the physical things. Capital is when those material things are represented by a form of identity. And that identity helps people to understand what is the value of those, or the material things that you're saying you have. And in the traditional finance system, material representation in Africa has been excluded to all of us. So the mystery of capital is an understanding how to represent the value of the things you hold, or you could call assets, represent your asset with something else which is outside the assets. Representing the asset with something else which is outside the asset. And that is what capital is all about. So when capital is represented that way, then becomes liquid. That means it can be transferred. For example, your ID, when you have your national ID, you can show it to the bank to open a bank account, or you can show it to your school admission to be admitted to school. or you can show it to the police, or you can show it even to the bouncer at the nightclub to be allowed to enter the nightclub. Okay, it's not your body that is admitted to the nightclub. It is your ID that says that you are now of age. You see that? So that means it is liquid, it's fluid. That liquidity, that means that you can exchange your value or your presence by having a representation. And that is the mystery. Why is it that something outside you represents you? That is mysterious, isn't it? Now, if you are working every day, but the value of your work is not represented, or if you have a big tract of land and your value and that land is not represented with something that can be shown in the market, that piece of land or the work that you're doing that is not represented is not liquid. Something that's not liquid is kind of solid, doesn't move. Liquidity means it's current, currency. Currency means that it moves, it's able to flow from place to place. And that's what currency is all about. It's about liquid currency, can flow from a place to place. And so, just like a river, and when capital assets cannot flow from place to place because they are not liquid, they are not able to. You cannot use it for growth. For example, if you have a block of ice and it is not flowing like water, you cannot use it for irrigation. You cannot. So water has to turn into, ice has to turn into water in order for you to use it for farming, for drinking, for feeding your cows, drink. That is what liquidity is all about. Becomes useful. Just is that process known as transformation or transmutation. Now, exploration stage in biomedical research requires a lot of liquid capital. This exploration, we talked about that last week, but today we're talking about externalization. Externalization is when you have dived deep into the knowledge ocean and you have captured some key nuggets of knowledge that you now want to bring out. You need liquid capital to do that. You cannot do that without capital. And I tell you what this really means. Externalization is the stage you reach after. So, for example, if you're say in a college, university, or college, and in exploration stages, you're just reading, doing research, finding out what is going on. But then when you have gathered all that research, what are you going to do with it? You start forming ideas about what to do with that knowledge that you have captured in the university. And that is to get that knowledge out. For example, if, say, for example, you are in an agricultural college, say like JPOT, OKU, and you have been reading a lot about how to improve agricultural productivity, or even how to add value to agricultural outputs, then how do you get that knowledge out of Kenyatta University into the farm, into the village, to the farmers? How do you take the knowledge out from there? That knowledge does not travel by foot. Haitatembea kwa mguu from the university to the village. It requires money. You need to have money to go to the village, or maybe to organize a team, or maybe make a company, or whatever it is, to bring the knowledge out of the university to take it out to the world, let's say to the community, to the village. You need to have money. That is the thing, is that you need to have money. But you cannot have money if you have not thought about money, the importance of money in getting the knowledge out. So right now, our academic enterprise is engaged in research and research and education without any inkling of how they're going to get that knowledge out of the university to the community, because they do not want to face the question about how do we form capital, how do we create liquidity so that the knowledge can flow out of the university into the communities. This means you need to have knowledge does not travel by itself. Knowledge is carried in people's consciousness, in your mind, in the minds of men and women. So for those people to carry that knowledge in their minds, they have to be paid. It's called human resource. Human resource. That means there has to be salaries to pay those people. Now, where do the salaries come from if we have actually not formed capital? It is a big adventure in missing the point, saying that we have trained all these people so they can take their knowledge to the village. But by what means? They need a vehicle for transporting that human resource. So something I want you to appreciate here. Resource is not just material resources such as petroleum, timber, coal, gold, copper, or fruits and vegetables. Resource, the primary resource, the human resource. Human resource means that taking the resource of the human consciousness and funding it, putting money on human resource so that that human resource can be transported to the community where it is needed to bring innovations. That's the process of exteriorization, is about understanding how to fund human resource. In simple terms, that's called employment. You have to create jobs. People have to be paid in order to do the things that can be done. If people are not paid, they are not going to do the things that can be done, but they're going to continue looking for jobs that they can be, that can pay them. All right. So that is why funding is important. Capital formation is important because it can make money available for managing human resource. Managing means, it means capturing the sense or harnessing the sense of the human resource. Yeah, and capturing what's called talent. So the talent does not go to waste. So it's not possible to exteriorize knowledge or to bring it out without talent. It takes talent. That's what it's all about. But talent requires money. So the question we are here asking is, how do we form money to fund talent like that? In the way the economy is structured today, in all developing countries, there is no technology for funding talent. There has never been any technology until the blockchain came along. Decentralized finance, that we now can form capital using liquidity pools to fund talent that will exteriorize the knowledge from where the knowledge is sitting to go to where it is needed, be applied. That's to take it, to exteriorize it, to bring it out. So when you bring it out, then it can be applied on material resources. That process called innovation, that can be used for building new things that will improve human life. New things that mean products and services. So exteriorization is very, very important. And you can see right now in all universities in Kenya, we have a stagnation, or we call a stumbling block, something that prevents knowledge from getting out, from getting exteriorized. For example, if you go to, say, Jomo Kenyatta University, Jomo Kenyatta University of Agriculture and Tech on Thika Road in Juja, it has a lot of knowledge in how to improve value of crops, food, to increase food capacity, food security in Kenya. That means by doing what? How, value adding technology, the knowledge to add value to agriculture and agricultural products and produce. That knowledge is a lot. Even places like Egerton, and these are colleges that have been there for a long time. University of Nairobi, a lot of knowledge how to add value, but that knowledge stays inside these organizations. It doesn't get out. Yes. And if you were to go and ask the vice chancellor, why is it that we have so much knowledge to add value to crops? And we teach students every year. They are graduating, thousands, tens of thousands of young students. And you tell them, where are they going? All those young students, where do they go to work? They don't know. And say, Don't you think somebody should be creating a place where they can actually, yeah, but then they don't. The centralized finance system, the way it is now, does not have the capacity or capability of understanding that question. That's called the mystery of capital, representing knowledge, because it is difficult. Yet decentralized finance system solves that problem completely. It demystifies capital by first of all understanding how to represent knowledge so that it can be traded. Knowledge itself, the human resource, represent human resource knowledge in the marketplace so that that resource is tradable and it's liquid. So this is how, like what Daudi has told us. One, very simple, open a wallet. Just like all of you here have got a wallet, Trust Wallet, MetaMask, or any kind of wallet for the blockchain. Receive tokens for, tokens just for planning to exercise knowledge. So that means the token of representation, not the knowledge that you have when you are doing in your exploration stage becomes tokenized. That means the token itself becomes the representation of the value of that knowledge. So that the knowledge has got a representation in the market way before you even begin talking about exteriorization. And because the token is liquid, it now would give you legs or wings to fly, go to the village and do in the communities and distribute your knowledge. And then that token is also very, very potent because it can be used for creating liquidity pools. And liquidity pools means that a lot of people having tokens and pairing those tokens with other tokens to make the token ultra liquid. That liquidity is essential. It's necessary for funding, such that those ones who have got the tokens that they need for exteriorizing their knowledge will be liquid enough that they can afford transportation to go to the village, even build factories. But the beginning at this stage is about being able to go to the village and spread the good news about the value that you can add to your agricultural products or produce for food security, to bring food security. See? And that applies to all other fields of knowledge. The token is that powerful. Now, why is the power of the token is to demystify this whole thing? Because traditionally, how people have tried to raise money or to form liquidity for this is by writing grants to grant-making organizations. These grant-making organizations, usually they're few and far between, and they give grants to only 1 or 2 people. But when you have decentralized finance platform, you have the entire population participating in the process. Everybody gets token, and everybody creates a liquidity pool, and that means there's money enough for everyone. See, there's enough money for everyone, so long as people are faithful to the process, and that is what's going to be very, very powerful in the decentralized finance platform. Is that we have now we have the ability to create liquidity all on our own liquidity pool. Now, what I want to tell you, ladies and gentlemen, is that innovation, that means adding knowledge to material resources so that you can create something new, because that's what innovation is all about. Adding your knowledge that you have learned to material resources so that you can create something new. That's called adding value-added products. That value you're talking about, value added, is knowledge that is being added to material resource. Adding knowledge is something that requires money, capital, and now we are now able to form capital directly on the decentralized exchange. So long as everyone is faithful to that process, that you hold your actual tokens, but then when you have your actual token, put those tokens in the liquidity pool. When you put those tokens in the liquidity pool, then if everybody were to do that, then the tokens becomes liquid and everyone benefits. everyone benefits in the process. So what we are asking everyone to do is that when you receive your token, because there's a lot of people who have received tokens in the learn-to-earn sessions, don't just hold those tokens there, but use them to create a liquidity pool. Now, liquidity pools are, again, very, very powerful because they help you to enter the blockchain itself, in the holy of holies, like where high finance takes place. Instead of high finance being done by few people in the world, you become part of the many participating in high finance. That means that you earn money or passive income with a liquidity pool. And when besides earning passive income, you also can lend, you can lend other people, or you can borrow from liquidity pools for your own personal needs. And there's a lot of that we're going to learn, particularly during the blockchain sessions in the weekend, how you can borrow against your liquidity pool on Saturdays. Okay, so that the economy expands that way. So you're able to broaden the economy. So exteriorization, again, is a process that helps knowledge to flow out of the academic institution, out there in the community. That knowledge, when it's flowing out, it goes there to add value to the things that are being produced by people in the marketplace. Okay, and it requires a lot of money. Now, one final thing I'll tell you about that process and why people don't do it is because it is very high risk. It's very uncertain. The uncertainty of that knowledge flowing out and then bringing return on investment is very high. You are not sure that if you have an idea that you've just found out in your research endeavors, that when you take that knowledge to the village, it's going to bring return on investment. That is called uncertainty. The uncertainty risk is very, very high. When it's such uncertainty, you do not know. People actually risk averse. They do not like uncertain things, and that is why we don't get funding. Now, the good news with the decentralized finance system, when you have tokens, that uncertainty risk is removed. So, for example, if with Actuate tokens, it doesn't matter whether the knowledge that you have exteriorized is going to start bringing return on investments right away, because Actuate token is already being traded in the liquidity pool on its own. So Actuate token and the risk of value addition of the products are independent. They are not correlated. It's not the same thing. And that is what that's where the power of decentralized finance is. That is able to disassociate the uncertainty risk between the investment, return on investment, and the investment itself as represented by the token. Okay, so tokenization helps to dissociate the risk. And you can see now, because exteriorization is a very high risky uncertain process in the knowledge translation process, it's a very uncertain step. There is usually no money from the traditional finance market for that. Because there's no money, then the university becomes an ivory tower, where there's a lot of knowledge in the university, but it cannot get out. Right now, what we are saying to the universities, that uncertainty is gone in the token world. That uncertainty is gone. We are able now to exteriorize. We're able to exteriorize the knowledge, even with all its full risk, but then that knowledge is able to reach where it's supposed to go, and independent of the perceived risk of the uncertainty. So that's what I would like to say. And so I would like to encourage everyone to create liquidity pools so that we can enjoy the party of, exteriorizing knowledge, because the risk is removed for funding. yeah, the risk is absolutely removed. And I think for ladies and gentlemen, when you understand that, then you're going to know that we have absolute freedom in creating liquidity pools without worrying about how much you see, without worrying whether that the project itself, will it work out? Is it going to bring me return on investment? Because you're already receiving returns with actuates that are in the marketplace. That is where the returns come from. But you don't have to worry about the returns from the project itself. Okay, so that disassociation is very, very important because it helps to remove the uncertainty. That uncertainty is what has created what's called ivory tower. Ivory tower is where people have a lot of knowledge, like what we were saying about the universities. People in universities having so much knowledge that can be used to add value, but that knowledge does not go to the village. That's called the ivory tower syndrome. So the token itself helps to cure, is a cure for the ivory tower syndrome. Let us say that. And cure for the ivory tower syndrome is being able to form liquidity pools to make that knowledge, give that knowledge a way of flowing out. The liquidity pool will enable knowledge to flow. I think of liquidity pool as say you have a river, and then the knowledge needs to be transported. So you have a boat, the boat you put in the river, but then you pack that boat with cargo of knowledge. Then it can transport. The only reason the boat will move in the river is because the river is liquid. Okay, the river is liquid. So that is what that is all about. If we do not create liquidity pools, we cannot move the knowledge out of the universities because there's no river. It's just dry. Yeah, knowledge requires a river to be transported from the university into the villages. And then when you're wondering what is that, how does knowledge move? Knowledge is going to move, as I said, in the minds of people. So they need people need to be funded to get on those boats that are flowing from the university into the village. That means human resource. Okay, and that is possible with the liquidity pools. So that's what we're asking you, everyone, you participate in doing that, and by now the tokens you're receiving, create a liquidity pool. And that's what we have to say every single day. You create a liquidity pool because there's no point of talking about tokens if you're not creating liquidity pools with those tokens. Okay. So Grace, I'll give you back to you, and thank you so much, David, for reminding us the importance of capital formation. All right, Grace.
Okay, Doc. Thank you for that wonderful presentation. So on my side, I would want to urge us to make an effort of creating liquidity pools. We've heard about the importance of tokenizing or creating liquidity pools, and also the importance of Actuate tokens. So kindly, maybe in this coming week, or also actually we have today's Tuesday, so we have enough time to learn about how to create liquidity pools. There's a video of creating liquidity pools. We've been sharing it throughout the week. So make an effort of going through the video, make a step by step what's the step-by-step process of how to create liquidity pools. In case you have a question, you can reach out to me. So this time I want to welcome anyone with a question or even a comment about this topic for today. Doc, I think there's no question.
Okay.
So I think I can proceed and post the attendance form for today's session.
Yes. You can say that. So I think the idea, Grace, is not even make an effort. It's create liquid pool. That one is effortless. Just create liquid pool, everyone who is here, because we are not going to get breakthrough if we do not create those liquid pools. And you see, it's the responsibility of everyone. If we have to get that knowledge out of university into the village, into your own village, so that we can now add value to the produce of the work of the people in the village. Okay, we cannot do that if you, yourself as an individual, do not create liquid pool. That's the responsibility of everyone. And one thing that we have to keep repeating, when you add your tokens to liquid pool, it does not mean that your tokens have left you. They're still yours. They're still in your wallet. The liquid pool is, first of all, gives you a representation. But then there's another nasty practice by a lot of our people, that when liquid pools are created, they come out to draw liquidity. That means they take out the BNB. Say, for example, they swap the BNB out. Now that's not clever. If you want to be clever, people, don't do such things. Put a liquid pool and hold it there for at least 2 years, so it can earn you money. It's not you receive tokens and then you go and swap the tokens out for BNB. Let me tell you what that is. That is foolish. It's not smart. But then, of course, there are some people who do not want to practice, foolishness. But what can you do about that? But if you find yourself doing such a thing, know that what you're practicing is not smart. You are now reinforcing the idea of the ivory tower syndrome. We cannot cure the ivory tower syndrome, the disease that holds knowledge in our universities, with such behavior where people are creating liquid pools and you are taking the value out of liquid pool, swapping out. See, that is undermining the entire process. It's not useful. But what the only thing you can do with that is like, you say you are forgiven. Your sins are forgiven, because that's a sinful nature of mankind. When people are building, there's some people who are deconstructing. What to do with such people? But don't be one of them. All right, do not be one of them that are engaged in deconstruction, so that we manage to lift this whole knowledge out. It's not possible. Knowledge is very heavy. The heaviness of lifting that knowledge, because knowledge is packed in the human mind. So we are talking about human resource. That means creating jobs, employment for everybody. But you cannot do that if some people are already undermining the process when it's underway. Well, but then there are those people who undermine the process because they don't believe in what you're saying. Because they're unbelieving. So the unbelieving are of their kind, of the unbelieving. You find yourself in that situation. It's not a good situation for you. It's not negative for anybody else except you, but you're undermining a process. So stay on the positive side, create a good pool, and I can tell you that one of the final thing that we'll announce is that we are saying the same thing even to the people here in the United States, the diaspora. We are telling the same thing, and we're having the summit coming up now in November, the second summit of the Boston Premier Summit. The real Premier Summit is going to be in Boston in November 2025, November 10 to 14. And so get ready. And it's by getting ready means that create liquid pool so that you can have things to talk about in Boston when it comes to November. We shall be passing out many announcements between now and November, so you will be knowing a lot more about the second iteration. This is after the Nairobi Summit is Boston. That is for November 2025. Okay, we'll stop there. Then we can you can fill the forms if you don't have questions, and let's move on to the next.
Yeah. Those who have joined now, So make sure you fill the form before you leave. Thank you so much for attending today's session. The next session, we will communicate when it will happen. Have a nice time and happy holidays.
I think we'll meet again in the new year. Next week is all Christmas season. Christmas week, isn't it?
Yeah.
So we meet again.
Yeah. So
yeah, Merry Christmas, everybody. We meet in January, but that doesn't mean you don't create liquid pools. It's just in this session. But in between now and January, you have created large liquidity pools for yourselves. So you come to report to the people.
Okay, thank you so much. I think if we are done, we can adjourn the meeting. Kindly make sure you fill the form before you leave. Once again, have a happy holiday. Take care of yourselves. Let's meet in the next year. Thank you.
All right. Thank you, Grace, and thank you, David. Cody.